What if Earth had two suns? Let's say tomorrow morning you wake up, go outside, and notice something's a little different. You squint up at the sky, and instead of one blinding ball of fire, there are now two. Congratulations, Earth has just become Tatooine. But before you run off to get your lightsaber, let's talk about what would actually happen. Having two suns sounds pretty cool, at least until you realize it's also absolutely terrifying. Our single sun already provides the perfect amount of light and heat to keep Earth habitable. It's not too close, not too far. Astronomers call this the habitable zone. Now, imagine doubling the radiation. If Earth was caught between two stars of the same size as our sun, the first thing you'd notice is that sunscreen SPF 50 would instantly become about as useful as painting yourself with mayonnaise. You'd also never have a true night again. With two suns, unless they're perfectly aligned on the same side of the sky, at least one would always be shining. That means goodbye to starry skies, goodbye to the Milky Way, and goodbye to any chance of romantic stargazing. Humanity would be stuck with permanent daylight, and everyone would start living like exhausted casino workers who can't tell whether it's 2 p.m. or 4 a.m. Now, let's talk about temperatures. With two suns blasting Earth, the average global temperature would shoot up to levels we'd usually associate with giant pizza oven. The polar ice caps, gone. Oceans, probably boiling away. Your backyard swimming pool, it becomes soup before you can even inflate the flamingo float. Within a few decades, or maybe just years, Earth's surface could become more like Venus. Super hot, uninhabitable, and with an atmosphere that feels like breathing through a wet blanket made of acid. But wait, you might say, what if the two suns were smaller, like red dwarfs? That wouldn't be as bad, right? True, two red dwarfs would be cooler than two full-sized suns, but cooler here still means slowly cooking you alive instead of instantly turning you into barbecue. Red dwarfs also spit out solar flares constantly. So instead of boiling oceans, you'd just be fried by cosmic radiation. Either way, the Earth becomes the world's saddest rotisserie chicken. There's also the problem of gravity. If two stars are close to each other, they tug and pull, sometimes violently. That means Earth's orbit would almost certainly not stay stable. Best case, we'd get seasons so extreme that winter feels like Siberia times 10, and summer feels like opening the oven at 250 degrees Celsius and climbing inside. Worst case, the Earth is flung out of orbit entirely, either toward one of the suns, ending with our planet being swallowed whole, or into deep space where everything freezes solid. And if you're thinking, maybe the two suns orbit each other at a safe distance, and Earth orbits around both in the middle, that's possible in theory. It's called a circumbinary orbit, and some exoplanets actually do it. But even then, it's chaos compared to our neat little solar system. The gravitational tug-of-war would make Earth's orbit more wobbly than a shopping cart with a broken wheel. Weather patterns would be unpredictable, climate cycles would swing wildly, and global agriculture would collapse. On the plus side, meteorologists could finally give up pretending to know what the forecast will be tomorrow. But let's set aside science for a second and ask, what would life actually feel like? Imagine walking outside and casting not one, but two shadows. That's already unsettling enough. You'd never be able to sneak up on anyone ever again. Vampires, forget it. They're permanently out of business. Plants, on the other hand, would love it. Twice the sunlight means twice the photosynthesis. At least until they all burn to death from the heat. And then there's human psychology. Our entire culture is built around the rhythm of day and night. Sleep cycles, work schedules, even words like good morning and good night would stop making sense. If it's always day, when do you sleep? If it's always hot, when do you go outside? You might think humanity would adapt by building underground cities, living in perpetual air conditioning, and inventing blackout curtains thicker than medieval castle walls. In reality, though, most people would probably just complain on Twitter until the servers melted. Now, let's zoom out to the cosmic time scale. Earth with two suns doesn't last very long. Either the planet gets fried, its orbit destabilizes, or it's ejected into the void. Best case scenario, life adapts into something unrecognizable. Giant desert cockroaches basking in endless sunlight, maybe. Worst case scenario, Earth becomes cosmic toast within a few centuries. So, what if Earth had two suns? At first glance, it sounds like an epic upgrade. Warm beaches forever, no gloomy winters, and a sci-fi vibe straight out of Star Wars. But in practice, it's less vacation paradise and more instant glob.